What did Junior leave for you?
He left the password on his phone. He had left us a note. Right when I swiped out of that, there were actually multiple pages open.
He knew what he wanted you to see, right?
Yes.
Okay. You found this site.
SanctionedSuicide.com.
So he was clearly active on the site. Tell us a little bit about what Sanctioned Suicide is all about, that website.
Sanctioned Suicide claims to be a pro-choice website who's there to help other people, kind of get them through whatever, dark moments they're going through, but they're definitely not. They encourage suicide. They manipulate people. They have people that are asking to go and live stream them committing suicide. They ask if they can go over and meet you up and do it for you. They give you advice on where to order the right, poisons in order to poison yourself.
Right.
And they also have like 2 pages full of links with any way you want to kill yourself. I mean, if you want to do it, however you want to do it, and they get it down to a T. That's what Sanctioned Suicide is all about.
Now let's talk about the people who are running SanctionedSuicide.com. These are mental health professionals running this?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Who's running the site?
They, from what I understand, are self-proclaimed incels. And they also have another website that is called incels.co,
right,
where they glorify, mistreating women, raping them, doing all kinds of crazy, sick things.
If something like an assisted suicide site is supposed to exist on the internet, I'm going to say that maybe those dudes are not the people who should be running it.
Absolutely not. People that were once members. I believe some of them still might be. I'm not too sure. But they themselves have said it's a very, very, very bad place, that they clearly encourage suicide.
Junior was on the site before he was 18.
He was on the site before he was 18, correct.
Right.
He turned 18 at January 29th.
They literally publish graphs, which we have now, that shows that somewhere between 5 and 8% of the people on the site are absolutely admitting that they are between 14 and 17 years old. They are.
And there was actually even smaller.
There was a smaller, right.
That said they were below 14.
Yes.
Under the age of 14, I'm like, really? Yeah, they know that there's people on there. They don't care.
We've even seen that discussion in several of the threads. Like, clearly we know that there are kids here. Can't you at least, we've seen them literally say to each other, can't you at least wait until you're 18 because you're going to spoil it for the rest of us, essentially.
They also published on their survey where there's, plenty of people with autism and Asperger's on there as well. I mean,
right.
Really, I believe from what I've read that if you have autism, you're already 9 times more likely to commit suicide as it is. Yeah. So why is this available? And where's the autism community?
Okay, well, there's a website here that literally is teaching people how to end their own lives. It is run by people who should clearly not be in charge of having that conversation with vulnerable people who are suffering.
Yes.
And the site just exists. How is this allowed? How is this possible? Like, how is that site even legal? Most people would not even believe that that's legal, but it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is legal, and it's legal because there is a law, it's called Section 230, Communications Decency Act, also known as Section 230, and it doesn't make anyone liable for the use of content on their forum.
This is a federal law in the U.S.
Yes,
yeah,
a federal law, yes.
Right. Now, Section 230 says you have no obligation to police content. You have no reason to care what goes on in your network. Just make cool stuff and make money, essentially, is what Section 230 says. Have you tried to take action against the site at all?
Of course, in terms of Cloudflare. They're not hosting the site, but at least trying to make them aware of the site that they're providing, DNS and proxy services for. We all reached out to them. The whole Facebook group basically did that. and they shut all of our comments off. So either they don't care.
They may not have malicious intent, these tech companies, but they are certainly also not taking action to be protective or proactive or act in a moral or ethical way in any way. Like,
not at all. I'm not asking for a website to be taken down because they are, speaking politically against one party or the other. That's not what I'm asking for. What I'm asking for is like, hey guys, this should not be allowed. I mean, obviously for children, people with autism, people that suffer from, anybody that suffers from disabilities, where they are, they're incapacitated, obviously, where they're at a point like this in their life. We don't know what's going on. And here they are being cheered on. Can we please shut this down? I don't feel like I'm asking for too much.
Like, we've clearly decided to protect the dollars.
Right.
But we're not so much interested in protecting the people necessarily.
The same way I would say, why did it take 8 years to get that page shut down? Seriously?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Something has to be changed.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act shields a site like Sanction Suicide. And so we're talking assisted suicide here. But we are also talking about sites that are involved in promoting prostitution or sex trafficking. Backpage was clearly involved in sex trafficking underage girls, clearly involved in that, unapologetically, and was protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. Tell us what you're working on right now. Tell me about Fix the 26.
I would like to promote awareness in terms of not only sanctionsuicide.com, but other websites as well that are being protected, that are clearly illegal, that would be otherwise illegal. That we have a way to change the language with some respect to Section 230. I mean, you cannot say that nobody can be held liable. I mean, this is not okay. So why this is allowed on the internet, I don't know, but those 26 words need to get changed for sure.
Fix the 26 because Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act is only 26 words.
Fix the 26 is about changing these 26 words. I do believe that if you have a platform, when illegal activity is going on, it is your responsibility, just like it is if you don't pay your taxes, to make sure that your company is legal. Now, how that is going to happen, I'm not really quite sure. I don't know. I don't have $1 billion to figure it out, but Google does.
So you can go to fixthe26.com is the website.
Yes.
Right. What do you need to do? What are we trying to do here? How can people help?
What people can do to help fix the 26. I'm hoping to have something on there where they can know who the game players are and reach out to them directly and bring attention to this as soon as possible. They can also donate money. Obviously, this costs money to do all of this. Basically, Fix the 26, I want to promote awareness to what Section 230 really is, what it really means, how it's affecting our children and our society as a whole. And I want to get the language changed on that. There does need to be some liability involved here. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Kelli, you're fighting the good fight. I appreciate that you're doing that. And, I really admire you for having the strength to do this because I know how difficult this is for you. And is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
I guess just that I think some people would say and argue that I am trying to limit one's free speech, because that's what I hear a lot about, whenever people are talking about Section 230, free speech. And I'm just wondering where the line is actually drawn between free speech and, sex trafficking or encouraging people to commit suicide and those types of things. Where is that line drawn?